Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty interesting out of the EV world.
Yeah, this Slate Auto announcement, the blank slate pickup, it's definitely got people talking.
Totally. The headline grabber is this idea of like radical affordability and customization like we haven't really seen before.
And you hear names like Bezos possibly being involved as an investor, that it makes you lean in,
It is
right?
for sure. So the mission for us today is, can they actually pull this off? A sub $20,000 electric truck that you can even turn into an SUV.
That's the big question. It sounds almost too good to be true in some ways. We need to unpack how he planned to do it.
Okay, so they're talking over 100 accessories, this flat pack SUV kit. Production plan for Indiana, late 2026.
Right. So Slate Auto itself, founded in 2022, kind of kept things quiet till now.
Yeah, under the radar. And their CEO, Chris Barman, he's ex-Chrysler, pushing this plug-and-play design idea.
And that slogan, "We built it, you make it," that sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? All about the user making it their own.
It does. And they've got some other experienced folks, too, like Roddy Copes, came from Harley-Davidson, also Rivian.
Interesting mix. Old school auto, motorcycles, and new EV startup experience. That adds a layer of credibility, I think.
So the truck itself, the blank slate, it sounds basic.
Extremely basic.
Yeah.
2 doors, 2 seats, manual crank windows.
Wow, manual windows. You don't see that much anymore. And no big fancy screen, just a phone mount.
Exactly. Physical controls. The standard finish is just plain gray primer, basically, ready for a vinyl wrap.
So they're stripping out costs everywhere they can, but keeping essentials.
Seems like it. They still list automatic emergency braking, forward collision warning. So key safety stuff is there.
Okay, that's good. And it's still practical, right? 5-foot bed.
Yeah, 5-foot bed, payload around 1,400 pounds, towing about 1,000 pounds. Not heavy duty, but usable.
And it has a front trunk?
Yeah, about 7 cubic feet. So, extra storage.
All right, technically.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Rear motor.
Single rear motor, yeah.
Yeah.
Around 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. Pretty modest.
And batteries. Range.
2 options planned. A smaller one, 52.7 kilowatt hours, maybe 150 miles range. And a bigger 84.3 for about 240 miles.
Okay, 150 miles on the base. That's not huge, but maybe enough for some buyers at that price.
It's definitely a city or commuter range. It uses the NACS port, Tesla standard, and can DC fast charge up to 120 kilowatts. So 20 to 80% in under 30 minutes, they say.
Performance isn't the focus then. 0-60.
Around 8 seconds, top speed 90, it's adequate, and it's compact, shorter than a Maverick or Santa Cruz.
Right. Which brings us back to that price. Under $20,000 after the federal tax credit.
That's the magic number. Pre-incentive, it's under $27,500. Still potentially the cheapest new EV in the U.S., but that $7,500 credit is crucial.
Very crucial. And CEO Barman keeps saying they want to redefine affordable. So this is certainly one way to try. You just have to hope that credit sticks around, right?
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk customization. This is where it gets wild.
Over 100 accessories, starter packs for things like power windows, audio.
Yeah, wraps, wheels, lift kits, lowering kits, all sorts. But the big one is the SUV conversion.
This flat pack idea. You get a roof panel, rear bench seat, roll bar, extra airbags, and build it.
That's the plan. DIY. They're even talking about Slate University for tutorials and support.
Huh, okay. That's ambitious. What if you're not, mechanically inclined?
Well, did you say they'll have certified service partners for professional installation too? Probably wise for something like adding seats and airbags.
Probably. Okay, production. Indiana, you said.
Yep, Warsaw, Indiana. A repurposed 1.4 million square foot factory. A brownfield site, which usually means faster setup than building new.
And they're aiming high. Late 2026 start, potentially 150,000 vehicles a year.
That's the goal. It's aggressive for a startup.
So who buys this? Who's the target?
Price-conscious folks, clearly. People wanting basic transport they can personalize. Think maybe commuters, small businesses, younger buyers.
They mentioned drawing inspiration from the Model T, the VW Beetle, mass market icons.
Right. And the business model feels a bit like Harley-Davidson. Or Jeep, maybe.
Yeah.
Low margin on the base vehicle, make money on the accessories.
That makes sense. And the key differentiator is just that raw affordability, right? Undercutting everything else out there. Like even a Nissan Leaf costs more.
Significantly more. And then there's the investor confidence. You mentioned Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos, Mark Walter, Thomas Tull reportedly involved. They raised over $111 million in Series A last year.
That's serious backing. It suggests these investors see a real path forward.
So what's the initial reaction been like? Buzz.
Huge buzz. Lots of media pick up on the price and the whole DIY EV angle.
Yeah.
The SUV kit gets mentioned a lot. It's just so different.
But concerns too, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Questions about that base model range, the reliance on the tax credit, and the usual startup hurdles.
Yeah.
Hitting production, quality control, long-term viability. You know the drill.
Right. So, summing up, Slate Auto, bold entry, affordable, customizable EV truck, the blank slate, potential big savings, unique DIY angle with that SUV conversion.
But definite challenges ahead in a tough market. It really makes you wonder, though.
What's that?
Could this back-to-basics approach actually signal a shift? Moving away from EVs being these expensive, feature-packed things and more towards, affordable utility and personalization.
Prioritizing what you need and letting you add the rest. It's a provocative thought. What would you build, starting with a truly blank slate?
Something to chew on.
Definitely. That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for tuning in.